Bryan Herb from Zoom Vacations here in Cambodia. We're at the south gate of Angkor Thom. This is the ancient city of the Khmer Empire, which was built in 1181 and then abandoned in the 15th century. This is a man-made moat that goes 12 kilometers around the city. So we've entered the gate and we are inside the ancient city of Angkor Thom. This would look like just a big forest, but if you can imagine back in the 12th century, this would have been all wooden houses in a working, living city. Now it's been taken over by jungle. So now we're at the Temple of Bayon, which was in the Angkor compound. It is one of 292 temples you can see here. This temple has 54 towers. Each tower has 4 faces, which represent joy, sincerity, pity, and compassion. Depict military processions on the wall of Bayon. And intact still from the 12th century, this would have been a monastery with a roof over our head, which has now been destroyed. One of the really interesting things about this wall of carvings is that you can see how people were transported in those days and how they did their cooking and all kinds of things. And what's fascinating is that is still the way they transport their goods to this day. Like you can see the ox and the cart here, very similar to the people in the countryside nowadays. So this is interesting because it's showing an ancient scene of Cambodia in life where they're cooking with fish kebabs. You can see them right here, and also you can see, if you look up above, there is an alligator that's eating someone who's fallen off a boat. So in this scene from everyday life, we can see the people picking the lice out of their hair. Over here we have a woman playing with her children under a tree. We've got the queen with her servants around her. I can relate to this very well. And then we have here a woman in childbirth. Here's a scene depicting cockfighting between the Chinese and the Khmers. You can see the Chinese because they've got this like bun in their hair, and then the Khmers have short hair and really long earlobes. And this is the cockfighting depicted below. These are the jams. You can tell them by the helmets they wear, which are upside down lotus shapes. So essentially, for these carvings, the jams were the bad guys. All of this sandstone that was used to create Angkor compound was brought over from 60 kilometers away. Reconstruction on this part of the compound, and you can see this is what the original color would have looked like. Here we have a Buddha sitting on top of a mythical snake called the Naga, and you can see he has multiple heads. Now we're at Ba Phun Temple, which was built in 1060, so it's older than Bayon Temple. And you can see the people fishing here to the right. They wait until they see a circle of water, and then they throw the nets over to catch a fish. And there he goes. So now I've climbed to the top of Ba Phun Temple. This used to be the center of the city in the 11th century. So I mentioned that there's 292 temples here. This, what you see, is just one temple compound with 12 towers. Still considered just one of the 292 temples. This place is just incredible. In the Hindu faith, there are 3 powerful creatures. You can see them all represented here. We have Garuda, Singha, and Naga, which is the cobra, the snake, the bird, and the lion. This is the terrace of the elephants. The elephants were another powerful creature, of course. Now we're in Tapron Temple, which is the Buddhist temple built in 1186, dedicated to the Queen Mother. And I'm in the middle of Tapron Temple, and this temple compound is where the movie Tomb Raider was filmed. Mainly it's famous because of the way the trees have grown all throughout the temple. So you can see the holes all over this temple, and this is where there would have been precious stones would have been inlaid in all these holes. So ficus trees like this grow all over Taprom Temple, and that's why it's nicknamed the Jungle Temple. And this is also why it was where they filmed Lara Croft Tomb Raider. The color of the ficus tree and the stone is so similar, it's almost hard to tell where the ficus tree ends and the stone temple begins.
Like a snake, a big snake.
Wow, the root of this ficus tree growing like a snake all through the temple. Wow. And this is the famous shot that was in a National Geographic magazine, so of course many people want their photos taken. You can see why. The entire 401 square kilometers of the Angkor complex was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992.